Browns fans, we've got news and rumors around your favorite team. You will not want to miss this edition. It's everything that Cleveland Browns fans want to know right now about their head coach, their quarterback, what's going on in Cleveland. I got answers for you on the show. Welcome in. You're watching the Browns Report by Chat Sports. I am your host, Joey O'Donohue. And without further ado, I say we get right into this first question from Browns fan Chris. Says, folks just want Shedeur because he's the flashy name. But that same flash pointing at the watch gives Johnny Manziel vibes. It will fade quick when defenses start gunning for him. Gabriel's solid with an exclamation point. Chris, what I will say to this, and I super appreciate your $10 super chat and your take, man, for the world to see. I think the moxie and the charisma reminds me a little bit more of Baker Mayfield. And that worked out well as a quarterback in the National Football League. I think Cleveland needs that type of flash. We need that energy in Cleveland right now. We're lacking. Our offense is stagnant. Our offense is sleepy. I need someone that's going to wake us up. And I think the flash is a good thing. I mean, you don't get that often in Cleveland, that sort of flashiness in a player, something that energizes the crowd, energizes the stadium, energizes the players around the quarterback. And I think that the flash is not a bad thing for number 12. It's something that will provide some hype to this team. And Gabriel hasn't really done much to speak of so far this season. I mean, solid is maybe a word that is subjective, but, I just don't think he's done much to speak of. 67% of the time, he's throwing passes 9 yards or less. It really is dink and dunk. It really is short yardage football. And he's 1 of 4 on passes of over 20 yards in 3 starts. So I haven't seen enough to energize me about Dillon Gabriel. And, I assure you it won't be as bad as Johnny Manziel. That was just a nutcase. He was just doing ridiculous things off the field. Shedeur is practicing on his off days. He wants to be great. He's working hard. It'll be better. Don't you worry. Moving on. Jordan, we beat the Patriots. They played nobody. The Patriots lost to the Raiders, by the way, early in the season. Arguably the worst team in the league. So if the Browns do beat the Patriots, because now they're clicking, now they're hot, this would be a massive win for Cleveland. Oh, I want it so bad, folks. Imagine the talk if the Browns get this win on Sunday. We're only 2 games back of first place in the AFC North. This would turn the tables around, folks. Let's go out there and beat New England. I'm ready for it, Jordan. I love the way you're thinking. Next up, we've got Kim Granger, 69. What moves, if any, do you expect the Browns to make before the trade deadline? Here's a great question. We were talking about this on a video recently, but the Browns seem to be in a position of selling right now. They also buy, as they were able to go out and get Tyson Campbell. They were able to acquire Cam Robinson. But I think the most likely trades you will see for the Cleveland Browns, if any, are, 1, Jerome Ford would get moved. A lot of our offensive linemen on expiring contracts have been in trade talks. David Njoku has been in trade talks on a contract year. I think you're most likely to see the Browns sell a player or two of a player that will be a free agent next year. And what I would love to buy rather than sell, because there's a lot Cleveland needs on offense right now that with the defense playing the way it is, you can't tell me that this team wouldn't contend if we had a quarterback, receivers, an offensive line. Absolutely. So I would love to buy a receiver. There's a lot in trade talks right now. We're going to talk about some more. But I think most likely you'll see some selling, Kim. Speaking of wide receivers, Soul Train says, how significant would adding Garrett Wilson to the wide receiver room be? Oh, man. You get me fired up, Soul Train. Another Ohio State product in Cleveland. It's been working well for us. You see the way Quinshon Judkins runs that football. Garrett Wilson is a super talent. I love his just ability, and he is frustrated in New York right now. A lot of times, having a bad quarterback or being in a bad situation can make a receiver look worse. But as a pure talent, Garrett Wilson is one of the league's best. And, man, I would love to add him to that Cleveland Browns wide receiver room that needs help. Bond had emerged as the wide receiver, too. His snaps went down on Sunday. Jerry Jeudy was our number 1 last year. At his top 6 in the league in receiving yards. He just hasn't looked like the same player. He's dropping balls. They're not getting separation. I think Garrett Wilson makes a bigger impact than you might think. And just having a star like that will help either quarterback look better. It's a team effort. And maybe Garrett Wilson wouldn't be happy right now playing for the Cleveland Browns if he's not happy for the Jets. But the Jets are a different kind of suck. I mean, they are just winless. And at least Cleveland has a great defense. And I tell you what, I bet a lot of these star receivers would love to play with Shedeur. You see the way Myles Garrett gets hyped up hanging out with Shedeur Sanders. Like, he just has that hype factor. So, Wilson would be such a big addition to that Browns wide receiver room, folks. I would love to see him in Cleveland. Next up, we got Rigbone. I'm guessing after this week against the Patriots, since the bye week is the trade deadline, just a few days before, I'm going to say goodbye to Ford after the Patriots game. I think it's a good prediction, Rigbone. In fact, the Patriots are a team that need a running back, funny enough. So how funny would it be if we traded Ford to the Patriots after playing them? I wouldn't do it before because then it becomes a revenge game. But that's actually a real possibility. There are a couple teams in the market for a running back right now, and Ford we could sell for cheap, get a late pick, 6th, the 7th, maybe even a late pick swap. And that's a real possibility with the way that Judkins has been running the football, the way we could use Sampson. I mean, ESPN's Jeremy Fowler told us that the chances of Ford getting traded are 35% right now. And some possible fits include the Patriots, but also the Chargers, who lost on Marion Hampton and Najee Harris to injury. The Texans need a running back as well. It's not clear whether Joe Mixon will return anytime soon. And ESPN also said that Ford fits best as a rotational back, right? So maybe not the bona fide starting RB1, but he has enough. He's done enough in the league, has had enough production to rotate into a running back by committee. And Washington could be another team you look at for Jerome Ford. So I think that's one of the most likely moves the Browns make. That's a good take by Rigbone708. Next up, we got Joe Mama 6'7". I'm still not putting my faith in Kevin Stefanski. He's ruining every quarterback we have. Wow, let's unpack this take because Browns fans are pissed off at Kevin Stefanski right now. We had people calling for his job last week. I think the big win against Miami eased everybody's nerves where we're not screaming fire Stefanski, but we're also not letting him off the hook. And the play calling we've seen the few weeks prior are no excuse. It really begs this question, are the quarterbacks not talented or is the system not working? I mean, look at the quarterbacks under Kevin Stefanski. There's 10 on here. I left out Nick Mullins, who made one start. Nobody cared about Nick Mullins. Baker Mayfield was the best one. But we've had Case Keenum, Jacoby Brissett, Joe Flacco, of course, DTR, PJY. This is only since 2020, folks. This is all quarterbacks under Kevin Stefanski. Try not to get too much PTSD looking at this here. But it really begs the question, right? Like, was Deshaun Watson a problem? Or people are starting to ask, did Stefanski's game plan just make him look even worse? I mean, you saw all the guys on that list. Not many have had success. And so it starts to wonder, is this a coaching issue when you put in that many different players and there's no production? On the contrary, though, Baker did have success in 2020 when Stefanski got there. Flacco had some success in 2023. But also that 2023 year, we had 4 different starting quarterbacks rotate in, and we were still winning football games. That's how good the defense was and the players around the quarterback were, that it didn't matter who you put in at quarterback. So, yeah, the game plan doesn't seem to benefit quarterbacks. It doesn't seem to let them emerge. And now you're seeing it with Dillon Gabriel. Game plan is super conservative. His yards per attempt are just over 5. What do you think, Browns fans? Do we have a bad system? Is Kevin Stefanski harming quarterback development in Cleveland? Give me a yes or no in that comment section. What do you say, Browns fans? I think there's a legitimate point that could be made here. I'm not going to go out and rip him just yet, but if I see it again, I will. We'll be calling for Stefanski. But for now, we'll enjoy our big win. And before we get into some more Cleveland Browns news and rumors, I'm super excited to tell you that this episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it is good to be right. Football is in full swing now on Sundays. All is right with the world, and I'm big into daily fantasy with Prize Picks. I'm obsessed with it because it makes all the games more entertaining. And before the Browns play, I lock in on all my players in my lineup and their player projections. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. You can also follow other Prize Picks players directly on the app and copy their lineups in one click, whether it's a friend, a celebrity partner, or just someone whose picks you like. Hit the follow button and check out every lineup they create in the new feed tab on Prize Picks. That includes my lineups that I make. We had a great start to the season, but I need to make some more money now. Prize Picks gave us an awesome deal. Stephen Curry more than half a point. That worked out great. I got Quinshon Judkins less than 72.5 rush yards since the Patriots' rush defense has been so good. But I'll be happy either way. And finally, Bijan Robinson, more than half a touchdown. He's going to do that against Miami. If you want to try and make some money, you can tail my lineup. But to do that, you need to download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It is good to be right. Coming up, it's the Scoop and Boogie with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Do they evaluate Sanders this season? And if they do, what scenario calls for us taking a quarterback in round 1? I feel like we're spinning our wheels with DG. Great question here from Poop, Scoop, and Boogie. This is things that Browns fans really want to know. First part of it, yes, I think we evaluate Shedeur Sanders this season. I think it'd be a major mistake if you didn't. If you let him sit on the bench and then draft the quarterback, you got 3 young quarterbacks, and we haven't even seen the second one. Be kind of wild. I think the scenario that calls for Cleveland taking another quarterback, because the mock drafts are saying it. They're saying Cleveland's going to take Dante Moore. They're saying Cleveland's going to take Mendoza. I say pump the brakes on that, mock drafts. We haven't seen Shedeur play, and we've seen Gabriel play 3 games. You just drafted 2 rookie quarterbacks. We have other positional needs, mind you. We desperately need offensive tackles, and our offensive guards are on contract years. We've got other things to figure out. Wide receivers as well. Please give us Carnell Tate. But that's my point, Browns fans. I'm not in on drafting the quarterback just yet. I think the scenario that calls for it is if both Gabriel and Shedeur go out there and stink it up. If they go out there, turn the ball over, or continuously do what Gabriel's doing right now, which is not advance the football, not move the ball downfield, and rely on our defense to win us football games and run game, well, then I say you draft a quarterback. But I'm not saying it yet until we see Shedeur, which I think we will in a few weeks, folks. At least I hope we can see him get out there and have some success. I want him to be in a good situation when he gets out there, too. Next up, we got Patrick Edits. Wants to know, will the Browns trade Ward for A.J. Brown? Big trade rumor here. We have talked about this on the show, and there's a few things to look at. Number 1, A.J. Brown is disgruntled. He posted on his Instagram yesterday saying, it was a picture of him with the caption, using me but not using me. He's pissed off. He's not getting targets. And unfortunately, he's a big name, but I think the receivers in Philly are so good that they could afford to make this big move. We also heard recently that teams are calling up the Eagles about A.J. Brown, and they're being told we're not moving him at this moment. Now, a position of need for the Philadelphia Eagles is cornerback too. Denzel Ward, one of the best corners in football. I think he's one of the most enticing players for Philly, that if this deal were to happen, it would have to be with a team like Cleveland that has a top corner like Denzel Ward. I'm not saying I want this to happen. I love Denzel Ward. I love what he's done for the Cleveland Browns. And like I said, A.J. Brown, he's kind of a diva. But we also desperately need a wide receiver. And A.J. Brown is a difference maker. But to be honest with you, I'm not jumping on this. I'm not saying absolutely we should do this deal, because then we're desperately going to need corner help, and we need someone that can get A.J. Brown the football. We need an offensive line that can protect long enough to let A.J. Brown get open. And so I don't know if this actually be a good move for either team in the long run. For Philly, though, I mean, if you add Ward to that defense, they might go back-to-back, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll see. I don't think it's going to happen, but I think that if Philadelphia was going to move A.J. Brown, this is the type of deal that it would take. So stay tuned. We'll have you covered here on the Browns Report if and or when it does. Next up, we have Mr. Melt 420. Some great numbers in the show today. I want to see Gabriel throw the darn ball more than 20 to 30 yards. At least 3 to 4 times. I'm tired of the run and check downs game. It's so unproductive. Air it out. Make them respect the run. Hashtag Browns. Thank you. I'm glad a Browns fan is coming out here and saying that they're pissed off about the offense we're watching, because it's true. That's how I'm feeling watching it. It's not fun. It's not exciting to watch the passing game at all right now. We're carried by the run game, and teams are stacking the box. They know that. Judkins faces 8 defenders or more in the box, more than any other player in the league. And he's still efficient. I mean, credit to Quinshon Judkins. We got a star. But that's not a recipe for a successful offense. This is going to be a game like the Steelers game where you're forced to throw the ball 50 times and you barely got over 200 yards on 52 pass attempts. Unfortunately, I'm sick of watching that as well. So, yes, I'm with you, Mr. Mel. You know what? Take some shots, Gabriel. Shut down the criticism. Show us. Beat the narrative. And the only reason I think we're not seeing it is because they don't think he's capable of it. Stefanski's not game planning it, and Gabriel just simply isn't connecting on the shots. Show us that you can do it, Gabriel, because that's what we need right now. A pass game that's going to work. Otherwise, we're screwed. So I like that you're fired up about it, because I want a quarterback that can do that as well. That just doesn't seem to be Gabriel's nature. We'll see if we can win games with the game-managing type of quarterback, but I'm pretty ready to move on in a week or two. Next up, we got Braden coming in saying, you guys party on Sunday. You're darn right we party, Braden Klosterman. We have a great time on the Browns Report. We go live every single week for every single Cleveland Browns game, and we host a watch party. So that means all Browns fans can come in, party it up, have some fun, send some super chats. I'll do some deals. I give away items on the stream. I mean, it's really a great time. Live play-by-play of the game as well. So if you're a Browns fan and you want to be a part of the party this Sunday when we take on New England, join our live stream. We will be live Sunday starting at noon Eastern. You don't want to miss it. And tell me right now who you got in this game. Type CLE if you got the Cleveland Browns beating the New England Patriots. Type NE if you think the Patriots get this dub. Put those letters in the comment section, folks. I want to see some clees for the Cleveland Browns. Hey, they pull this off. Ladies and gentlemen, the talk around Cleveland is going to be different. I think they can do it, but I want to see it. Folks, thank you so much for watching this edition of the Browns Report. If you have more questions for me, go on over to X at JoeyO70. Comment some questions. I'll answer them for you on there and interact with you guys. Thank you so much for watching this edition of the Browns Report. We appreciate you all tuning in. Subscribe if you want to be a part of future videos here on YouTube. We thank you so much. We appreciate all of you, and we'll see you next time.